So we're looking at figures of speech. Okay, so what are figures of speech? As the name implies, it has to do with now let me make a distinction to say that figures of speech are not the same thing as parts of speech. Parts of speech is domiciled in is entrenched in grammar, while figures of speech is entrenched in literature in English. So when we say figures of speech, bringing it home, it has to do with the extra, the colors added to sentences to make it have a certain kind of appeal. So, for instance, if somebody adds parts of speech is an integral part of, you know, sentences of the English language. But when you say figures of speech, a sentence do not necessarily have to be embellished with figures of speech to pass across an information. No, without figures of speech, we can still have sentences that are accurate and express concise information. So we might say that figures of speech are just, you know, words or phrases that we use with different meanings that are different from the literal sense to create rhetorical effects. Just that's the word, to create rhetorical effect. So it's important. And the essence of this is simply to, enhance imagery, add emotional depth, and simplify complex ideas by associations and comparisons. So when we say literal, literal has to do with the general common meaning associated with a particular, you know, sentence or statement. But when we talk about figures of speech, it is different from the literal meaning. It has to do with reliance on implied meaning, what is not stated, what is beyond the straightforward description. Okay, if I say I am hungry, that's a literal meaning. I am hungry. If I say, I'm so famished, I can eat you if you're food. That's just adding more color to, express the intensity of my hunger. Okay, how hungry I am. So that's the work of figures of speech. So we're looking at various types. Now, for parts of speech, we have 8 of them. But for figures of speech, they are numerous. So numerous, okay? We have many of them. Simile, metaphor, personification, litosis, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, oxymoron, pun, irony, synecdoche, so many of them. But for everyday usage, common ones include simile, which has to do with a direct comparison of two unlike things. Okay, you're comparing two things that are not alike, using as or like. So we have, for instance, we have, excuse me, the boy is as tall as a palm tree. We all know no matter the height of any palm tree is usually long. True or false? True. So it's just when I say, you might not have seen the boy, but when I say the boy is as tall as a palm tree, oh, that already speaks volume. You can imagine. I've given you something for you to think about and imagine. Okay, so that's one of the things that figures of speech does. Okay, so it has to do with two. Now, when we say unlike things, the boy is not in any way related or similar to the palm tree. So that's where the unlikeliness comes in. Okay, but then we compare using what like, or we use what as. The boy is as tall as a palm tree. The boy is like a palm tree. Any of them would do well, will suit well. And then we have example: the warrior fought like a lion, showcasing fierce bravery and power. Most times, some people just compare without bringing out the trait. So it's important that you note, for instance, the boy is as tall as a palm tree. The height is I mean, is so conspicuous in class. That's to tell you that he towers his mates. Okay, so the warrior fought like a lion, showcasing fierce bravery and power. That's the quality the warrior shares with the lion. We all know that aside, if I say the warrior fought like a lion can be brutal. Okay, so that's not what I'm actually looking at when I'm comparing the warrior with the lion. I'm talking about the fact that the warrior was brave and displayed quite an ounce of power. Okay, so the warrior fought like a lion, showcasing fierce bravery and power. So the way we use the simile is that we use it to clarify meaning, add emotional impact, and also emphasize qualities vividly. You want to share with us your own examples? Was as bright as the sun. That's a cool sentence, but I'm still asking my question. She was as bright as the sun. What about now for you to use was? It means maybe the incident was past. So if you say she was as bright as the sun, in what sense? Is it that her eyes shone like the sun? Is it our clothes that glittered like the sun? Is it what exactly? So it's important that um in as much as we're comparing, like the example we have here, the warrior fought like a lion, showcasing fierce bravery and power. I instructed what I'm trying to compare. Okay, so I'll appreciate it if your example also um, it's clear enough, so I'm not thinking as bright as the sun. Put a
Yeah.
context to it. Put a context to it. She was as bright as the sun in terms of what? Rephrase it to accommodate the context of your discussion. How so? She was as bright as the sun in fantasy. How? During the interview, whoa, her performance wowed everyone. She displayed a brilliance as that of the sun. That will mean that she actually outperformed other participants in the interview. Because for you to say something shines like the sun, I mean, when the sun is shining brightly, you can ignore it. It's outstanding, and that's why you hear Nigerians talking about the sun is beating me or something. That the sun is coming out in its full strength. It's important that when you're citing examples, you give context to that example so that it becomes clearer. Okay, it might also be a clothes too. So it could be a clothes that you're describing as glittering. You needed to see the way she dressed to the party. My God, our clothes alone. Gosh, oh, it glittered like the sun. It means she was the snowshoe of all of the event. Everybody, she was all eyes on her at the party because, just imagine like you're in a dark, you know, place and somebody just coming with a blink blink clothes. Whoa, that person will become noticeable in the meeting. That's why I said it's important that you put a context to your expression because we do not know whether you're talking about she shining like the sun in terms of her clothing or in terms of a brilliance or in terms of a performance or something. So
Yep.
it's important that you give a context to whatever it is that you're exemplifying. Okay, so we have metaphor. Metaphor. This is an implied comparison. It's an implied comparison. It states one thing is another thing. In other words, it's implying similarity, but this time round without using like, without using as. For instance, um, the earlier example we had, the warrior fought like a lion, showcasing fierce bravery and power. I could say, my God, that hunter, huh? You won't believe it. It was a lion. But the way he was so brave and bold. Man, that man, he was a lion at the context. Okay, that would show that he must have really I've extracted as I've removed like from it. I've compressed it to make it seem like the man is a lion, but that's not true. I'm just trying to imply that his actions were lionic. Do you get it? So, for
Yeah.
instance, I say the world is a stage. I'm not saying this world is like a stage. I don't know why people don't want to leave. Every actor, takes the role, plays the part and exits the stage. I mean, there will be a curtain call after every drama. So I don't know why people are just living life like they will not die. World is a stage. It's different from the world is like a stage. I'm not comparing. I'm suggesting that life itself is a grand performance.
Yeah.
So the
Because
essence is that it's it creates strong visual images such that you're able to convey complex ideas and also add suitable nuances. Okay, you want to give examples? Uh, Life for her has been roller coaster. Whoa, it's easy to understand because maybe because of the wealth of her parent or something. It's understandable. She has it all. The world is at her beck and call. Okay, so that's figures of speech are not restricted to just simile and metaphor. We have others like personification, where you get from the spelling of that word personification, it's obvious what it entails. Person is a key word there. All others could be termed as suffixes. Okay, person, personify, personification. All right. Okay, so person, from the word personification would derive the keyword person. So it has to do with giving the attribute of a person, attribute of humans, qualities of humans, emotions of humans to non-human objects or ideas. Okay. For instance, if I say, "Oh, I love this weather. My oh my. The wind is whispering secrets through the trees as I sit to relax in the comfort of the sun." Okay. So I'm just saying that maybe the weather is cool, it's chilly, and the way the trees are blowing against, the wind is blowing against the trees. It's like the wind is whispering to me. The wind does not have a mouth to whisper to me. I'm just taking the attribute of whisper, which is related, attributed to which is a human quality, to describe the wind. So the wind whispered secret. Which secret is the wind whispering to me? And calm. That's personification. The attribute of whispering, which is related to humans, is now diverted to the wind. Can we have examples? Your own examples. The leaves, at the sound of the thunderstorm, the leaves danced in the wind. Okay, That gives a picture of probably there was a wild wind, and then
Yeah.
blowing against everywhere. And of course, it's you one can easily picture the movement of leaves, but it doesn't mean that they would start dancing like somebody's dancing to a nasheed music. Okay, so it's time waits for nobody. It doesn't have legs to wait anyway. So I wonder why they say it waits for no. He's not supposed to wait. Time moves, but he doesn't have a leg that it's moving with. Okay, so that's a good example. All right. We have the next one, hyperbole. Hyperbole. It has to do with exaggeration just to create an effect. Exaggeration, undue exaggeration. Like I said earlier, I could just say I am hungry and you'll understand. But maybe because I said I was hungry and you're not even moving an inch to, satisfy my hunger. And I said, girl, I'm so hungry I could eat you if you become food or you become a plate of food. I could eat you. Whoa, don't hit me. The kitchen quick, please. Okay. At least I've been able to get to you. Since I said I was hungry, you didn't do anything. Now I said if you were food, I could eat you. And now that takes you, doing something about it. So it's just exaggeration to create and evoke um, emotions. Okay, hyperbole and deal. It's to emphasize um, feelings, add humor, and create engaging dramatic flair. Oh no! Oh no! Somebody get me water. Water, please. Water, water. I could drink an ocean. That's the way I'm feeling. I need water. I need water. No matter how thirsty I could be, I can even drink a jug of water. Uh, uh, Someone to create a dramatic flair to it. Okay, so understatement is another. Understatement is another. That is, you're saying less than you mean. Saying less. Okay, deliberately downplaying a situation for emphasis or a comedic effect. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just a scratch. Huh? Just a scratch? Okay, that's downplaying it. Most of the times I think understatement are mostly used maybe when people want to pass across some unpleasant situations. Some doctors want to relate to the patient, or even in work environment you don't want to magnify the situation. You don't want to be hyperbolic. You might want to go for understatement. Okay, to say, oh, actually, uh, the glitch is not something to worry about. In some couple of hours, we should be done with it, and you'll get back on track, and yeah, you wouldn't have missed anything. Please, kindly bear with us. We all know that a couple of hours could be a couple of hours that will last for ages. But you just saying couple of hours. Unlike when you know that couple of hours could be 300 hours, but you saying couple of hours just downplays it. Okay, so you want to give your own examples.
It's a little problem.
Oh, it's just a little problem. Oh, it's just a little problem, and I can't access my account. It's been weeks. It's just a little problem. Madam, I'm so sorry. I guess some customer service officers are trained to actually understate situations of things just to, calm the nerves of customers. Okay, so it's important. So take the business away from the company. I just hope they would just be truthful. Some professions too are also in that line in a bit. Ella seems stressed. What's happening with my clothes? I'm almost done. Meanwhile, has not even cut anything. Don't worry. You'll get it tomorrow. It's not. It's just finishing touches. Someone who has not even done the cuttings. I don't know. I'm beginning to think where lies uh, the 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 point of being truthful and using an understatement.
Yeah.
So that might be something that is up for discussion. Okay, so examples in literature we may let's take metaphor. All the world is a stage. That's metaphoric. And we have authors who have used, figures of speech in their writings. And most of the times when we're doing narrative writings, is expected that we enrich whatever it is we're writing with some of these figures of speech where appropriate, but it shouldn't be like every sentence there's a figure of speech. No, but then one or two where appropriate in the entire, you know, narrative would actually spice the write-up. Okay, we have of the words is a stage. All the words is all the words is stage. So is just like saying the world is a
The
stage. That's
stage.
metaphoric. Okay. Similarly, my love is like a red, red rose. Whoa, it's blooming and it's hot. Okay. My love is like a red, red rose. Should we run? Because red, red will mean red, red. It could be somehow too. If somebody's love is red, red, people fall in love with red rose, but then when it's red, it also signifies something else. That's dangerous. Some love are so jealous, and you might wonder whether you're safe after all. Is this love or something else? Okay. Emily Dickinson said, personification, because I could not stop death. It kindly stopped for me. Yeah. Because I could not stop for death, it
It
kindly
kindly stopped for me.
stopped for me. Yes. That's can death stop for anyone?
No.
No way. No way. No way. Okay. So I'm sure when you come across such writings in the midst of their books, their novels, their writings, one might want to like take a pause, like consider it. Really? She must have used that to achieve something. Most of the times when writers use figures of speech, they have something in mind. They want to achieve an effect, a certain effect on the reader, the audience, okay, to evoke a feeling, to create an image or something. So it's not just used for user's sake, it's used because there is an effect that is needed to be what effected. Okay, so figures of speech in everyday life, advertising, for those who are advertising the product, is that Red Bull gives you wings. Like when people take some hard drinks, they feel so high, like they can do anything until the effect of that drink wears off, and they tell them, "You did this yesterday." Me? No way. I didn't. That's because they were under the influence of something. So this one is saying, take Red Bull. It gives you wings to fly. I wonder where they're flying to, anyways. So Red Bull gives you wings. The kind of wings,
Red
I don't
Bull.
know, and I don't want to explore that. Do you? I don't want to explore that. No, I don't want such wings. Okay, it says it uses metaphor and hyperbole to it uses metaphor and hyperbole to explicate the brand ideology. Okay, so can we have examples maybe from some ads you've come across? Red Bull gives you wings. Okay, Metaphoric and hyperbole is combined. The sentence is metaphoric and it's hyperbole. Also, Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull is a kind of alcoholic drink or something. It doesn't have, excuse me, it doesn't have ends and cannot give you wings. It doesn't have wings of its own anyway. So where does it have to give to another? Okay, that's been, uh, uh, you know, it gives you wings. When you take Red Bull, the kind of feeling you have is like somebody developing wings. You can do the impossible. That's metaphoric because we've instructed the as or like, and we are saying it's not like it gives you wings, it actually gives you wings. That's metaphoric. The hyperbole, it doesn't matter how the taste of Red Bull or the effect of Red Bull, it is an exaggeration to say that it gives you wings. So both figures of speech are combined together in that ad. Red Bull gives you wings. Okay, in politics we have nothing to fear but fear itself. It's more like somebody who is engaging in a motivational um, speech. I want to show you. You see, it might even happen in arts too, like networking business. Somebody comes to introduce a product to you and is trying to just sell it to you, giving you the pros and all that. And he's telling you, see, in this business, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. That's an understatement to inspire courage. And so it's just like saying, don't fear anything except that you yourself. The only thing you need to fear is the fear itself. Something about holding you back to say no, don't do it. That's what you should fear. That's now another thing to this is that it's also playing on words. When we play on words, that figure of speech that expresses that is porn. When you play on words, it says we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Okay. Figure of speech helps to add depth, engages and clarifies, and also helps to what impact on communication to embellish with power and nuance. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an exercise. Let's see.